X1039.
X1039 presents Jarrod Gipson at the Black Sheep, and very excited to have Jarrod in studio. How's it going?
Going good. How you doing?
I'm good. We were just jamming out to Green Day. We're talking about the American Idiot story. What did you just tell me about that album?
I was saying this is that was the first record I bought with my own money. It was like that and the 8 Mile soundtrack.
Love it.
And my dad found both of them, and he brought me into his room, and he just snapped the disc. And he was like, "You are absolutely not listening to this." So it has a very special place in my heart.
I'm sure it does. Well, thank you for coming in. This is so wild.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
First of all, this is the first in studio that we have done. And I mean, in like a year and a half. And
so crazy.
We went from doing it all the time to this being the first. So thank you for coming in. Of course, this Saturday at the Black Sheep, you are playing. I have Jarrod and Tyler here. So first of all, you know, you're a local guy. I think we're all so very excited to get back to doing shows. And
yeah, absolutely.
Even more excited to get our local musicians back on stage. So we're going to play a couple songs from you. But first off, as an artist, as a local artist, kind of tell us about your background and your history in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, no, so I was born in Miami, but then we moved to the Springs when I was 3, so I kind of feel like a native here. And I just drummed. I drummed in churches. Drumming was actually my main thing. That's all I wanted to do for a long time, and that's how Tyler and I met. Mm-hmm. And then I started playing with some of my friends in bands. Nina DeFreitas, she's like an incredible
love.
Yeah, yes. She's literally like one of the best. If you don't know her music, you should definitely go listen to it.
So good.
But Nina. Yeah, I started drumming for her, and that kind of got me playing around town, and then that kind of connected me to Denver, and I started playing up there. And then 2017, I think it was, I went through a lot of rough stuff, and I had insomnia, so I didn't know really how to sleep anymore, but I kind of taught myself how to sing and play piano a little bit, so I brought these songs to Tyler, and that's where we kind of really started. He started producing me, and we started working on these songs, and it kind of just became this thing that now we get to do that's so fun, but just has been like a really crazy ride because I never thought I was going to be doing stuff like this. So.
Well, I'm excited for you. How excited are you to get on stage on Saturday?
Oh my God. Like, I'm literally counting down the seconds. We're rehearsing tonight, like after this, and I literally just this morning woke up. I'm like, I want it to be tonight, because it's been, the last show I played was actually my first show, and that was November.
Good timing.
2019. Yeah, so like literally we played the show, we had a ton of momentum, and then COVID just canned it. So this is my first show in almost 2 years. Like,
oh my gosh.
I'm so stoked.
It's
I'm
like
so pumped.
One and done on shows when it happened. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We'll call that a practice show. How's that?
Yeah, practice.
Well, we're very excited. We're going to play a couple songs from you that we'll, I'm sure, hear on Saturday night, of course. So tickets are on sale for the show at 1039rxp.com. So this was actually originally a very limited capacity, but they did just recently open up a few more tickets and kind of open it up a little bit. Yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit after this. I want to play this first song from you. It's called Over Again. Yeah. Can you talk about this a little bit before I play it?
This we made the first album, Hard Eyes, Cycles, Clear Mind. Almost forgot the name. And I started making new music. I kind of wanted to go in like a little lighter of a direction since that last story was so heavy. And this was about like one of my first middle school like crushes that I actually called her and told her like, yo, this is about you, and we like had a moment over it. It was awesome.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, no, so it's really fun, and just that kind of whimsy feeling of like liking somebody and all that, you know. So
cool. Well, we'll hear it on Saturday night, but let's play it right now. This is Jarrod Gipson playing at the Black Sheep on Saturday. This is called Over Again on X1039.
I'm falling for you all over again. You tell me you wanna
X1039, that was Jarrod Gipson, Over Again. I have Jarrod in studio with me because on Saturday night playing the Black Sheep.
Yes.
Very excited about it. So love that song.
Thank you.
What do you draw? Who do you draw from? Like, who do you listen to a lot when you're making music? Because I hear a lot of different artists in there.
Yeah, that's one thing cool about working with Tyler too, is we both have very different tastes, but we kind of got to like push them together, which is because like my heroes are like Justin Timberlake and Michael Jackson, Chris Martin, Kevin Garrett, Ryan O'Neal, kind of all, Ray Charles, he's huge, but they all are so vastly different from one another, you know. So like when I tell people like, yeah, JT is like probably my all-time idol, they're like, dude, I don't hear JT. And I'm like, I know, but like he taught me like confidence. Like they each kind of gave me that. So like that's kind of how I approach it. And honestly, like, and I don't mean this cheesy, but my friends like Tyler, Paul, Drew, Taylor, the guys in my band, like they inspire me tons because it's like I feel like they're least so talented. Good. Yeah, like and I'm not shorting myself. Like I know I got a lot to give, but they're just so talented and like so inspirational that it makes me want to be better, you know, and explore what they're hearing and sounds and all that, you know.
Well, I'm excited for the show on Saturday.
Thank you.
Are we going to hear a lot of that, you know, kind of sound, a lot of dancing, maybe?
Trying to. yeah, my version of dancing.
I mean, that's good. I think we're all in need of a party after just everything, and it's so exciting to be getting back out to playing live music. So, again, we're here with Jarrod Gipson. X1039 presents Jarrod Gipson on Saturday at the Black Sheep, and get tickets at 1039rxp.com. So last few years for you, that was, so Over Again is a new song, correct? Yep. Or newer than your debut album. We're going to play the opening song to your debut album in a second, but do you want to talk about your album and, you know, kind of what putting it out meant to you?
Oh, yeah, it was survival. It was just like, it was one of the hardest times in my life, and I had to tell, when I met with Tyler and we started working on it, I just had to tell it the right way. That's why the whole album's kind of like one continuous thing. If you listen front to back, and it was just a story of like me kind of having to let some relationships and people go that really were bad for me and hard for me, but I really loved and really tried to give my all to, you know, and so I really wanted to tell that story and tell it in a real way. You know, pop and alternative music, I think a lot of the time can talk about stuff that we can relate to, but kind of not relate to, where I'm like, no, I want to be like the rawest, realest I can be, because there's real people out here like going through some real stuff that's really hard, and I think we need somebody who's talking for those people, not just the money and the cars and stuff like that, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to hear those songs on Saturday night. And again, I just want to say, excited to have our local musicians get back on stage, because if you missed the first part, Jarrod Gipson, a musician from right here in Colorado Springs, you've been in the music scene for a while. We have people here that when your name came out about playing the Black Sheep, we're all excited to see you get back on stage. And so I'm interested from you. We talked in the first segment about you played one show and then touring stopped. Very unfortunate, but I know that 2020 was hard for a lot of bands and artists. What did you use that time as an artist to do, to kind of, because I'm sure you expected to be playing more shows and being out and about. So what did you take that time to do for yourself as an artist?
Just write every feeling I had, try to write as many songs as I could. Tyler and I started working on new music that we're going to be hopefully releasing at the end of the year. He was huge in that for me too, like just push me to write more, push me to like keep going, because I'm so emotional, and I get, as is he, but in different and similar ways, and I think that's where we complement one another, because we push each other in the right ways. And so the majority of it was just writing as much as I could, and then planning, how can I do this different? Like, how can I show people, again, a more real, or I guess a realer side of me, more honest side. And it made me explore, like, how do you want to do this? Like, because now I can't be on stage and just sing and plug in and do all that. And now I'm just in my basement. What can I do in my basement? You know, how can I do all this? So that, for me, that was like, it was just write as much as you can and really keep creating and drawing inspiration in a time where I feel like all of us were so depressed just from life. Like, it's just one of the heaviest times I've ever been a part of, you know, so trying to really draw from that and put it into something.
And now it kind of feels like we're on the other side, which is why we're talking about seeing you guys play live on Saturday. It's crazy. So we were talking about how the show on Saturday, it was originally pretty limited, opened up more tickets though. Can you talk about what happened with that?
Yeah, so we had, the Black Sheep said we get about 55 people. So we were going to do 2 sets. And then we got a notice that the county had changed some sort of guidelines, and the Black Sheep was in that county, and then they were like, we can have 100 people. So it was like, yo, let's like can the 2 sets, get an opener, which is The Broken, and if you haven't heard their stuff, go check them out. They're awesome guys. And then let's just make it one big show, which was awesome too, because like I think COVID, even the 2 sets thing, to me, I was pumped, but it still felt like the shadow of COVID kind of on it. Whereas having just one big 100 people show opener, it made it feel like, it's like we're coming back home to that normal, that now life is kind of different, but we get to do this again. And that felt really exciting. And I think we've been working our tails off to really deliver, and we're really pumped about that too.
Good. Well, I hope everybody can make it on Saturday night. It's at the Black Sheep. Tickets on sale at 1039rxp.com, because it's going to be a really fun show. And I want your first show back to be a big party.
Yeah, there will be, no doubt.
Yes, it's going to be fun. We're going to play another song from you real quick.
Sweet.
This is, again, the opening track to your debut album, Heart, Eyes, Cycles, Clear Minds. This song is called Clockwise. Again, we have Jarrod Gipson in studio, who's playing the Black Sheep on Saturday. So here we go. Jarrod Gipson, Clockwise on X1039.
I wanna go place, I wanna feel your body scream my name as you push up on me.
X1039, that was Jarrod Gipson, Clockwise. Very excited to have Jarrod and Tyler from Jarrod Gipson in studio with us. Playing the Black Sheep on Saturday nights, and X1039 Presents show. I'm so excited. It's really weird to be saying this. I'm sorry. How many times can I say that? But still, like,
we're all pumped. Yeah, many more for sure.
Yeah. So, what are your plans? You're going to play your first show back after playing your first show ever a year and a half ago. Your first show back. Do you have plans to, get back out, play even more?
Yeah, no doubt. We're trying. Nate and I have been talking a ton. We're trying to plan as many shows as we can and really get a lot going and start the ball rolling. And then, like I said, Tyler and I have been working for a while now on new music that we're really pumped. We're going to be playing a few new songs at the show Saturday, so you should definitely come out. But we're hoping to release those at the end of the year, and then just play as much as we can. Honestly, keep doing stuff, keep creating stuff, and I really want to just play as many shows as we can, because I've missed it so much.
Yeah, so. we gotta make up for it. That's what I was trying to say.
Lost time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Lost time.
Well, before we let you go, where can people follow you and find out what you're up to, and where can people listen to you?
So listening. They can listen everywhere. Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Pandora, everything. And then follow me on social media. I got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and my spelling of my name is a little weird, so it's not G-I-P or B-S-O-N, it's G-I-P. And then if you're spelling Jarrod, it's J-A-R-R-O-D. It's like I always have to clarify that. But you can follow me all on those social media platforms, get the music everywhere. And I hope you do.
Yeah.
Hope you like it.
And buy tickets to the Black Sheep for the show on Saturday night. I want this to be a big party. Yes. It will be.
It will be.
I wanna go